amazing to me. People like The Who and Yes and all these bands that were just pushing the bass guitar forward. And those tones really spoke to me because all of a sudden the bass wasn't just a kind of thumpy little instrument in the background. It was something that was actually carrying itself along with the music and along with the rhythm. So I was intrigued by this, made the instrument itself really interesting to me. Okay, so flash forward. About 2000, year 2000, I discovered these Ashdown amplifiers, which I've been using since. I guess we're going on about 15 years now. The way I discovered them was John Entwistle was going on a big Who tour, and he just loaded up a new rig of stuff, and it was kind of hard to miss it because they used to call it the New York skyline. Piled up all this stuff behind him, all these giant amps and stuff. And I've always been kind of like the guy at the bar. It's kind of like, well, I'll have whatever he's having. It seems to be working for him. So Ed came to one of these NAMM shows, and I looked around and I said, well, what's going on these days? Where is this Ashdown thing that I heard so much about? And then I grew to discover that these were hand-built amps back in the day, direct from England, by a fellow named Mark Goudet, who I'd had some experience with through Trace Elliott. And so he had a better idea for an amplifier, and he had created these things. This is not scripted, by the way, I'm just rambling, so stay with me. But anyway, so the first amp I picked up was the John Entwistle model, the RPM-1, which was just a preamp, went with a bunch of power amps, which is what I was used to using anyway. And oddly enough, see that blue thing over there? It looked very much like that. And I've been using those amplifiers since. I mean, pretty much that's the staple amp that I go to. This year, they have and here comes the plug, the ABM 600. Which is based on an integrated preamp amplifier. I think it's 575 watts or 600 watts of transistor power. It's a tube up front. This is not unusual for the Ashdown line. They've been like this forever, except this year they put a couple of more bands of EQ in it, which seems like, so what? You're just trying to do something different. But this really, really sings. It's got a little more focus on certain frequencies. So without any further ado, I will start making noise through this thing and show you how wonderful they sound. Okay. So that's just a basic tone, not much going on. Yeah, that's pretty much a clean tone. I'm going to come around here and move some of the knobs around. I wanted to take the mic there, but I'll just scream at you here. Okay, so they've got a tube circuit in here. Turn it up really nice. You have a little bit of grind built right to the amplifier. Now, what I love about these amps is you've got three traditional rotary faders, just like an old-fashioned Fender amp or something like that. You've got your and you've got your mids and your bass. It's really interesting up here in the mids, though. That's where you can really get the attack and the pushing of the speakers. There aren't too many amplifiers out of the box that'll do that. If you like Mountain, you can get that great Okay, so that's the old grindy thing. That's kind of cool to get out of a little amplifier like that. Now I'm going to completely clean it up and do a whole different tone. Turning down the preamp. Flattening out some of these knobs here, move it down a bit. More of a traditional focus sound. And there's an EQ curve that they have built in here too, which widens the frequencies and drops the mids for a more modern sound. Pushes an awful lot of air. Okay, so that's the amp all by itself. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my Ashdown distortion pedal, which is called the Hyperdrive. That's it right there. I haven't had it on at all, but I'll show you what it does. If if you have a clean amplifier or any kind of bass amp that you just don't, that doesn't sound very good when you push it, this is a great thing to enhance your bass guitar. It'll grab onto any range of frequencies from low mids to high mids, and it'll distort them. And you can have them really drive, or you can have them just kind of crack a little bit the way tube amplifiers do. I developed this thing because I wanted to get a special sound that I was getting out of a bunch of different amplifiers and split pickups. I used to use two amplifiers. I'd use a guitar amplifier and I use a bass amplifier traditionally, 15s, 12s, and I would split the signal out of my bass. I had a stereo bass. Back pickup would go and play like a guitar, front pickup would sound like a church organ. So I had Ashdown put this pedal together for me. They did a great job. What it does is, it actually takes the mid-range and it just distorts that one frequency and it leaves your bass wherever it is. So it kind of mimics that same thing. So, to demonstrate. There's a mix control on here that I can use to bring in the distortion. So the first thing I'm going to do is, here's the bass as it is, through the pedal. Now I'm going to go and turn the distortion all the way up so you can hear just what's going on. I was telling you about. So now, depending on where you set that, you can get an awful lot of drive, and you can mix it back with your bass guitar sound, and you get a really good, solid bass sound, but you also get a drive like a guitar player has. A lot of fun to play with three-piece bands, or just, you know, any kind of band. So here we go. I'm so sold on that sound. I sound like Gene Simmons. Then I'm going to play a song that will actually demonstrate why that is so cool. I have a little band on the side. It features the drummer from the Chili Peppers. It features the drummer from Whitesnake playing guitar, and a friend of mine who also plays bass in Whitesnake singing. Chad Smith, Brian Tishy, and Michael Devon. We are called the O'Reillys, and we do Who covers. So I've got all of these guys in this little box here, and I left the bass off. Let's hear a great Who song. Here we go. Or if you prefer. Come on, why not? We gotta wake up, man. I gotta wake up. I love it, great. This is my cue, it's gonna get hot. right, now is that a cool tone or what? How about this?
When a young man ain't got nothing in the world these days. I said a young man ain't got nothing in the world these days. Well, you know, in the old days, when a young man was a strong man, all the people, they step back when a young man walk by. Well, you know, nowadays, it's the old man who's got all the money. And a young man ain't got nothing in the world these days. I say, ain't got
wants to hear it again? Hey, thank you all for coming down. Check out these fantastic Ashdown amps. They're about as loud as you need them, as you can tell, and I've enjoyed spending a little time with you. Thank you.